Test 1 2 3. I'm live. I'm live. I know I am, man. I tested it already last time. Man, listen, I got some things to get off my chest, man. I just find it very annoying, man. And start this all off. I don't use Twitter that often. Excuse me. I use Twitter, but not like to interact with people. I'm a little antisocial on there, but it's all good. It's all good. But in light of the recent Game Awards events, man, I had to comment on this because I'm seeing a lot of vitriol, man, from Spider-Man 2 fans about Baldur's Gate 3 and did it deserve Game of the Year over, Spider-Man 2. And I find this notion a little bit crazy only because a lot of these guys who were asking this question didn't play the game. Or a little bump there. A lot of these guys who were asking this question didn't play the game. And again, I'm not going to generalize. I talked to one guy who I know for sure didn't play the game. Maybe two, maybe two. This dude right here, Hard Eight Times AGS Live, man. Shout out to him, man. He does his thing. Watching him for a while. He's a cool dude, man. But you gotta call out the cap. Gotta call the cap when we see it, bro. Anyway, anyway. No drama, no drama. I'm just calling it out the cap, man. I'm not gonna call anybody out the name, say anything crazy about nobody. I talk to anybody in real life, just like I talk to you in there, bro. Just because that's respect, man. I respect people, man. This man, I gotta find the tweet real quick. Something. I don't know if he deleted it. I don't know if he deleted it, but it said something about he reposted this right here. Ah, here we go. Right here. Share screen. I don't know if y'all can see it. Awesome stuff, man. Hey, shout out to StreamYard, bro. I love technology. Do people believe that turn-based gameplay could ever be better than real-time gameplay? In my opinion, it's not even close. You can think Baldur's Gate 3 is better than Spider-Man 2 until you blew in the face, but no way in hell you think Baldur's Gate 3 got better gameplay. Now, right off the bat, bro, this is an opinion-based discussion, man. This is an opinion-based discussion. Some people genuinely don't like real, turn-based games. Some people could never get into Pokemon, man. Some people could never play it because it's just like, Monsters has no appeal to me. Understood, 100%. I'm never gonna knock somebody's opinion on a game type because that's crazy. I mean, what the hell? We all here to play games, man. Everybody's got a different opinion on what they like in games, man. You'll never catch me playing a puzzle game ever. Not one that's strictly puzzles, because man, look, man, bro, I can go to the store, grab a puzzle. I'm never gonna pop onto a game that I want to play and get a puzzle, man. And again, and you know what? Just thinking about it right now, that's one of the reasons those little, not specifically puzzles, but like things you don't want to do in a game that you bought. But I'll get to it. I'll get to it. So this is the tweet. No problem here. No problem there. It's just a thing. My problem is in my opinion, it's not even close. Fair enough. You can think Baldur's Gate 3 is better than Spider-Man 2 until you blew in the face, but no way in hell you think Baldur's Gate 3 got better gameplay. That's something, even though it says it's in my opinion, that's something that can be debated. Because Spider-Man 2 having better gameplay than Baldur's Gate 3 isn't a fact based in reality. It's not the sky is blue. Something you can't debate that. Baldur's Gate 3 versus Spider-Man 2, you can debate. And it's preference based. So usually I have no problem with this. It is what it is. But here you see, I got a reply. And I kept it balanced, kept it cool, kept it real. Turn-based games are not better in general. It's true. I I oh, I play a lot of action games, like real-time games. One of my favorite games of all time is Cyberpunk 2077. Awesome game. Some of my other favorite games of all time: Shadow of the Colossus, awesome game. You play real time gameplay. You don't have to stop and wait for anything. I'm trying to think about the game. Oh, let's just go to the games I played this year. Jedi Survivor, awesome, awesome game. I'm loving it so far. Diablo 4, played it a bunch with my wife. She's awesome, loved it. Sorry about that. Let's see. Hogwarts Legacy, fantastic game, man. There's a bunch of dope real time not strategy. I keep saying real time strategy, real time games that aren't turn based. But I go on to say, turn based games are not better in general. They aren't, like I just said, because there's not a lot of them. They don't sell well. I mean, and live action's better. Most games I play are in real time, but Baldur's Gate 3 is different. Gameplay is more engaging in Baldur's Gate 3 than Spider-Man 2 due to strategic elements of the combat. And what I meant by that is because it's too much to explain in just a tweet, man. Like it's a lot to explain in a tweet to compare. First off, to compare two different genres of game: strictly action game Spider-Man 2, turn-based strategy game Baldur's Gate 3. Okay, these are different types of games, so I understand. You know what I'm saying? They're hard to compare. But the opinion that gameplay is more engaging than Baldur's Gate 3 and Spider-Man 2, I can back that up. I can back that up. You know what I'm saying? And it's right here. I was gonna go back, but the whole thread's right here. So that's cool. That's cool. So, but someone replied to me on his tweet. Well, first off, Heart Eight, shout out to him, bro. He went ahead and he laughed at the the thought of the gameplay being engaging, but man, it's opinion based, so I can't get mad at him for his opinion, man. Like that, it's cool. It's cool. But this dude right here specifically, uh, Autumn Bim Cosmos, man, whoever this is, shout out to you, bro. But I know this guy specifically didn't play the game. Just by the way he was talking to me. Check this out. Engaging in turn-based strategy with turn-based. Oh, this is 3. Bro. Twitter's so weird, dude. I gotta figure out how to respond to this shit. Right here. This dude, I'm just reading this for the first time. This dude's right. I mean, are they even really comparable, bro? I mean, I don't think it's comparable. But when people are going about these, trying to understand this, but I'll read them. I'll read them through here because they're in order right here. This man replied to me, my first tweet. Nah, Spider-Man 2 is just as strategic. It just occurs in real time. Can be argued. Sure, you need to use every ability available to you to fend off and defeat multitude of enemies, all of which have a variety of abilities to defeat or hamper you. Some take you out the air, others remove access to. Sorry about that. Others remove access to abilities. Others use elements. Others long range. Others short range weapons. Others are immovable objects that use brute force. All this and more coming at you with great AI. You have to strategize on which enemy type to focus on. You do this on the fly, which is engaging turn-based strategy any day. Sorry, it's probably more engaging. Which is, yeah, we'll say more engaging than turn-based strategy any day. With turn-based, you can walk away, leave the game running, not take a hit. Do that in Spider-Man 2. See how you fare. Turn-based is limited. Now, I don't understand, and I replied to him in the tweet. I'll show you what I replied, how I replied. I just don't know if I can get back. I gotta see my fucking tweets, man. Again, I don't work Twitter like that, especially on my desktop. So I don't really know how to see what I said. Mm-hmm. Let me pull up my tweet exactly. Even though I can't see. But I mean, I'll find it. But essentially, I said along. He said I said along the lines of, all those things apply to Baldur's Gate 3. And if you're watching this video and you've played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly how that applies to Baldur's Gate 3. Let's see. Defeat multitude of enemies. Always have abilities to hinder you or hamper you. Yes, come on, bro. You play Baldur's Gate 3, you've been blinded. You've been hamstrung. You've been lit on fire. All these things happen in Baldur's Gate 3 as well. So this of mobile objects that use brute force, long range, short range, you have berserkers and barbarians coming at you with rage on. So just twice, you got guys shooting at you. Mages. Wizards and sorcerers shooting stuff at you. You have rangers and archers shooting stuff at you. You got mid rangers. Just there's different elements and long ranges and elements is play as well. All the elements make an appearance in Baldur's Gate 3. So what he's saying applies to Baldur's Gate 3, just like he's saying. So that's essentially what I told him, with no disrespect. All those things apply to Baldur's Gate 3. And his last point about, you know, um, you can walk away from the game and leave it running and not take a hit doesn't really matter, because you can pause the game in Spider-Man 3 as well. So it doesn't, I mean, Spider-Man 2 as well. So I don't know why that matters at all. Really, it doesn't make sense. But I told him that, so he replied, "That's the point. You'll die if there's real time strategy. Strategic risk involved in Spider-Man turn-based combat can compete with that adrenaline rush that's provided by Spider-Man's combat. Turn-based combat, turn-based combat can't compete with the fact that adrenaline rush that provided real-time combat is done right. It's instant gratification to the player. None of what I said applies to Baldur's Gate 3. Apparently, it doesn't apply because BG3 isn't real time, so you don't get that effect from playing turn based as you do as real time. BG3 interactions have lacked impact. I feel every punch, web shot, and he's saying you there's no way you can get that same impact from a turn based game. And I would argue no, you can't. The impact's not the same. You're not even gonna get the same impact from that as you're playing Call of Duty, another fast paced game. The point is that they're two different games, so it's weird that he's trying to say that these things aren't in there. And this tells me that he didn't. His first tweet about the whole, using elements things tells me he didn't play it. He didn't play Baldur's Gate 3. I've played Spider-Man 2 and Baldur's Gate 3. That's why I can say these things. That's why. And the fact that he's laughing when I think it's crazy he put this laughing emoji. I remember watching his tune into his show. I think he only played like a little bit of it because he didn't want to play it was turn based. So when he's laughing, that says gameplay is more engaging in Baldur's Gate 3 than Spider-Man 2. He's laughing because he doesn't. I don't know how he hasn't played Baldur's Gate 3 enough to actually get engaged in the gameplay. And if you don't like turn based, I get it. I'm never gonna knock nobody's opinion. But a laugh? That's crazy to say. It's ignorant. It's ignorant. That's what it is. It's funny. It's ignorant. And I just find it strange that people do this on the internet, especially on Twitter about the games you didn't play. Like, there's no reason to try to argue with me about Baldur's Gate 3 when you haven't played the game. You don't get the same effect. And I basically told him that, I mean, dude, you can definitely get the same effect. You can definitely get the same effect after you finish a long battle in Tactician, dude. You completely can. I just find it very strange and like crazy that this guy would come out here and say this when it's very obvious he didn't even play the game. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple likes by Grounded Gaming, so shout out to him, man. I mean, those likes mean something. They mean a lot to me, man. But I say all this to say that, man, you know, oh, okay, here are my tweets. Here we go. Exactly. Boom, boom, boom. He liked all my tweets, luckily, so you can read them. And sorry, you got to fill in the blanks, man. I'm just trying to go. I'm going off the top of the head. There's no script. Just going. This is a response to his first set of tweets. If you leave the game running on Spider-Man 2, you die. That's where there's a pause button. I'm not sure what the point was, but I feel you. All the things you said apply to Baldur's Gate 3 as much as preference, opinion based on things, but Baldur's Gate does better, in my opinion. There's a second part. Yeah, I don't think he liked it, but I find it. I said, it's in a different package, basically, different enemy types, different approaches to the enemies, attacks that debilitate you. It's your job to figure a way around it. It's just turn-based setting. If you don't like turn-based, understood, but I haven't told one lie about the game. And I have not, man. I haven't told one lie about the game so far. But this is just in general why I find it like kind of like wild that people will do this because this guy didn't play it. AGS Live, shout out to Hard 8, bro. He didn't play the game. So how can he say something? Fair enough. This dude right here obviously didn't play the game. So how can you talk, man? This doesn't make sense to me. I'm coming at it from the perspective, and I just searched Baldur's Gate 3 just a little early to see what's going on. Because there's a lot of controversy around this from people who only played Spider-Man. They've only played Spider-Man 2 and said that's my game of the year. If I had cake, bro, from two different restaurants, restaurant A and restaurant B. Sorry about that. Some technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. If I had cake from two restaurants, restaurant A and restaurant B, I was moving my hands when I talked, and so watch out, watch out. Restaurant A, restaurant B has cake. I say, man, I have this restaurant A is pretty good, but restaurant B is better, man. It's just better. Now this guy comes up to me. He's only had cake from restaurant A. He goes, well, look, dude, there's no way. This is a 3-layer cake. The cake was green. That's my favorite color. And I gotta go, okay, bro, that's cool. But no, this cake was better. How can I even have a conversation with you about which one was better? You only had one. This makes no sense. It's not. It doesn't make any sense. And so, I'm here to relieve some of that frustration of not making of stuff not making sense. But again, 8 hours ago, people, down in Baldur's Gate 3, this guy posted gameplay of Spider-Man versus Baldur's Gate 3. Now, again, the fact that they are video games is honestly like the only thing they have in common. I just find it strange that people are willing to go down and try to down Baldur's Gate 3 when they haven't played it. Look, this is two different game. Asterion sneaking, dude. Yeah. But there's strategy involved in all this, man. And there's a reason why there's so many interactions and why. Again, people like the action games. If you don't prefer, turn-based games, man, I can't. What am I saying to you? You wrong? That sounds crazy. What I will say is that, bro, if you give it a chance, you'll see why people love it, man. People love it, man. I definitely like Baldur's Gate 3 this year more than Spider-Man 2. I enjoyed Spider-Man 1. I played it twice. Once on PS4, once on PS5. Once it got the was it PS4 Pro? I think it was PS5. Once I got once it got the 60 frames patch. I played it 60 frames again. Loved it. Had a great ass time. Miles Morales came out. I didn't like it as much. I never finished it. And Spider-Man 2, I got it, but I uninstalled it, man. Like the gameplay in Spider-Man 2 is, more of the same. It's more Spider-Man. If you were loving it, then you'll love it still. But the best part about Spider-Man to me is the traversal in the city, is swinging around, because the stuff you do has no depth to it. There's no depth to the stuff that you do. When you're, they tie progression through you exploring, the city and doing a random obscure challenges on the map. I gotta do prowler challenges to find tech parts to do all this other stuff. I can't just play the game. I gotta be stopped instead in the story too as well to do other stuff I don't care about. I gotta go play as Mary Jane. I gotta go play a stealth mission. A stealth mission flashback as Miles Morales to pad out game time. We're talking too, bro. In Baldur's Gate 3, you don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. In fact, there's more options for again. But this is just the gameplay in general. If we're talking gameplay, we can break it all the way down. Skill trees, builds, all that kind of stuff. There are no builds in Spider-Man, bro. You just get the skills and you upgrade. Okay, it's good for an action game. People who only play, the 3 or 4 games a year will go, "Oh yeah, this is dope, man. There's a skill tree. It's crazy." And then you go to Baldur's Gate 3, and you can build 3 different types of barbarian. You can multi-class. You pick a sorcerer. You have 3 different types of sorcerer. Not to mention your race selection has an effect. Again, these are 2 different games. But my point is to come to the people who didn't play any of the and go and have something to say about it. I think it's wild to say. I think it's just wild to be that ignorant about something. That's just my piece to it. We look at this. This is the first few minutes. This is the first few minutes of the game too. Not the first few minutes. This is looks like, yeah, bro. This is literally when you this is like the first hour to a gameplay. This dude right here has a bunch of stuff in the symbiote suit. So it's different comparisons to games to different games, man. And that's the problem with a lot of stuff on Twitter. And I had seen this before. I meant to get this off my chest. A lot of discussion, bro, is dishonest. It's dishonest, man. It's dishonest discussion. Show a level 8 dude throwing a fireball and obliterating 5 enemies at once. Like this is crazy. Like it's kind of crazy, dude. It is kind of crazy. I just find it very, very interesting, bro. How people react to things online. And the answer: did Baldur's Gate 3 deserve Game of the Year? I think so. I think Baldur's Gate 3 deserved Game of the Year. The game is fantastic. We're still playing it. Spider-Man 2 was a solid game. But I mean, solid don't win you Game of the Year, bro. You're not innovating. You didn't do anything different than you did in Miles Morales. You made the swinging faster. It's fun. I mean, not like like it's fun, but what are you doing? Where am I swinging to? Swing into a fight. Okay, cool. I can punch. I can kick. There's enemies that require a couple different tactics. You got to slide under the guys, who block all your attacks and hit them from the back. You got to pop the other guys into the air. You got the vultures and shit that shoot shit at you, and you got to dodge it in the air. It's fast paced. It's cool. It's action. It's stuff. It's good. But Baldur's Gate 3 is a different, like a different vibe to it, man. It's just a different vibe to it, and that's really what I'm really trying to get across is that these are I'm gonna say I keep saying it, bro. These are 2 different these are 2 different types of games. First off, you can't actually really even compare them, bro. The pace is different. I just have a problem with these guys who only play the cinematic action games and go, "This is what this. There's no way. There's no." I have a problem with the ignorance, bro. You didn't play Baldur's Gate 3. How can you say it's not good? It makes no sense. You got to try something at least before you say it's not good. That just makes no sense to me. So that's all it really is to me, man. You got to try before you end up, before you have something crazy to say about it. Like if we really wanted to deep dive on features and actual gameplay, we could. We could, bro. We could. Spider-Man's Miles Morales. I mean Spider-Man 2 has a skill tree for both spiders. It's fire. It's dope. You can increase your swing speed. You can get an extra hit in. You got a couple more attacks you can use. Fire. Cool. The core of the game, but that's kind of it. It's action game. You go through levels. Cool. Whatever. Baldur's Gate 3. You've got your class. You've got your race. You've got all that kind of stuff, and you can build your character how you see fit. You level up. I'm trying to tell you, look, that gameplay that we saw, man, was like level 2 was you saw it in the corner. I'm gonna show it again. Game. Uh, crazy stuff. The vultures, all this kind of other stuff, man. It's he's in there. He's deep. He's deep in the game, and then he turns the ball to get you and throws a sneak attack. And this is level 2, man. This is the first hour of the game, and he's comparing this. And the sad part is that no one's called it out because these guys didn't play the game. Now, I think people were just focused on defending Baldur's Gate, which is fine. But I'm calling it out right now, bro. You compare 2 different points in the game. Show the stealth mission where you got to sneak through the high school. Show the Mary Jane show the Mary Jane missions, bro. I just find it kind of crazy, man. And this is just me scrolling through Twitter, man. I didn't have my screen share on. It's all good. It's all good. This is just me sharing my opinion, man. I don't scroll through Twitter. I find the ignorance interesting, and it inspires me to get on here and make some videos. So maybe I should get on Twitter more often and spark takes on it, man. But that's really it, man. No one else responded to me, so it is what it is. But I'm gonna get ahead and end this recording, man. Enjoy your life.